It's time for this month's Good Day PA gardening segment, and joining me now is Brooke Umberger of Hershey Gardens, and we're in the butterfly atrium.
Yes, we are, Patrick, the butterfly atrium.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Now, you're going to tell us a little bit about how to get butterflies in your yard,
yes.
right? Okay,
yes.
So how do you do that?
So it's a little different than what we have here in the atrium, because here in the atrium, of course, we have tropical butterflies and native butterflies, which means we have...
And it's hot.
It is.
Yeah, it's humid here.
80 degrees, 80% humidity. The butterflies and the plants love it. So we actually have both tropical and native plants here in the conservatory as well. So it's going to be a little different for the home gardener, because of course, if you're gardening in Pennsylvania and you want butterflies, you're going to be using native plants to Pennsylvania. You're not going to be using tropicals.
Yeah, we don't have this whole butterfly atrium.
No,
yeah,
no. So you can't keep annuals blooming throughout the entire year like we can, unfortunately.
So what can we do? What can we do then?
So what we can do is you're going to want to plant native plants that are going to bloom for the entire growing season. So we're talking as early as May all the way through October. You want something blooming, because we actually have butterflies sometimes that arrive up here as early as April, and they need to have food sources, so they need to have nectar plants. So one of the plants that we have here in front of us is called pentas, or Egyptian star cluster.
And it's very pretty.
And you can see, you can see why it's aptly named. It has 5 petals on it, just like a star, and pentas, 5 pent, as well as Egyptian star cluster.
You're giving me an education here, for sure.
So it's a great plant because it provides a lot of nectar for butterflies. They love it. Now, pentas are an annual, so that means that you have to plant them every year. So you're going to want to plant them in May or in June, and then they will bloom continuously for you throughout the entire growing season. But then come September or October, whenever we hit frost, you're going to have to replant them next year because they're going to die over the winter.
Right, and so that's why you think going the perennial method is the way to go?
Absolutely. They'll come back for you year after year, and even though you might only get blooms, say, for a certain month out of the year, you're still going to be able to plant them, or you're still going to have them come back year after year, where you're not going to have to worry about replanting them.
What I've noticed is that with the butterflies all surrounding us, they love some of the water sources you have here.
Yes,
now this is important.
This is important.
To have water sources for these insects?
It is. So a lot of people think that insects don't need water. They're afraid that you're actually going to drown an insect if you give them water. But just like flowers, they need food, they need nectar sources, they also need nutrients from water. So
Which is wild, because I didn't know that.
It's true. So what we tell people is they can actually create their own water source. They can get a saucer or a bird bath, which is, a low-lying dish, if you will, and they can get some big rocks and put it in, and then just put water so that the rocks are not fully submerged, so that the butterflies have an area to land, but can still put their proboscis in the water to feed, so that they won't drown.
Other than water, do you guys use any other stuff like Gatorade or something like that?
So we do. We have feeding stations here. Butterflies also love over-ripened fruit, so anything from pineapples to bananas, to even just apples or oranges, they love. So we have a lot of over-ripened fruit here that they can also get their essential nutrients out of, just like nectar out of flowers. And we also do use Gatorade as well. We'll put a sponge in some Gatorade, so again, they have an area to land so that they're not drowning themselves in the Gatorade.
Now, viewers are probably wondering as we're speaking, if this thing is actually real, what is this plant?
It is real. It's called elephant ear. And there's a lot of elephant ears. So this one in particular, the cultivar is lutea, and that means that it gets very, very big. I mean, these leaves are literally as tall as I am, about 5 feet. So
they're humongous.
They are, and it is absolutely real. And it's actually an understory plant. It's a tropical plant. So this one doesn't actually help our butterflies at all, but it's a really pretty foliage plant.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yes.
Now, is there anything else we should know about butterflies?
Basically, just you want to plant perennials, you want to plant annuals, you can supplement with annuals, you want to make sure that you have something in bloom throughout all the growing season, and you just want to make sure that you have a bunch of different flower shapes as well as colors, because depending on what pollinator you want to bring to your yard, whether it's butterflies or bees, they're going to have differences in what they like. For instance, hummingbirds love red, and they like deep flowers because of their beaks. So just making sure that you're researching what pollinator you want to have come.
That is really interesting. You love pollinators. I can
I
tell.
do.
That's like a passion of yours.
It is. It is.
For folks like me that may not want to plant these at home, now we can actually come here to see it.
Absolutely.
Because we don't have this tropical environment anywhere else in Pennsylvania, so we can come here, right?
So we are open 363 days a year. We're only closed on Thanksgiving and Christmas. So you can come from 9 to 5, or in the growing season, Memorial Day to Labor Day, you can come 9 to 6, and this is open. And the great thing is, in the middle of December or January, when it's 30 degrees outside, it's still 80 degrees, 80% humidity in here.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, folks, head out here because it is just wonderful. I know that kids especially love these butterflies landing on them. I had one just a minute ago.
You did.
And it's so much fun. So we'll be right back with more Good Day PA.